if people are good with that.
Yep.
Sounds good. Hello, stream.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello to all
Yeah,
of our
All
it's
those
thousands.
bacteria.
It's that invigorating.
Hello to our thousands of lovely, lovely stream watchers.
Seriously.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to the random guy from Australia then.
Yeah, shout out to you.
the one
Dude,
random.
you're hardcore, and I reckon you should join the guild. So find Steelbourne Legion, and go and apply, because you're hardcore and we want you. Anyway,
And
enough
possibly get your head checked for 20 hours of straight
enough
D&D.
advertisements. Enough advertisements. Let's crack on. Also, another shout out to Torben, the guy who watched the stream all the way through last week. I spoke to after the game and has now joined the guild. So it works. It works. And hopefully he's watching now. So if you're watching, hi Torben. Anyway, right, back to the action. We left you guys in the room. I'll describe the room again for you, just so you can remember what it's like. Now, you're in that octagonal room with the part of the wall and the ceiling in the top left-hand corner being destroyed, and there's an old body partially buried by the rubble. It's a dwarf. You have a disc of gold, and it looks like gold as well, with bronze runes inlaid within it that's cracked and old and dusty. Within that, the lighter colour is a hemisphere that's raised up about 5 foot from the ground in a hemisphere, and on the top of that is a rectangular coffin made of some kind of granite or something like that, the lid of which is now off, and the dwarf inside is now up and about. And I have a picture of him, so I'll show you that. Where is he?
Whitebeard Skull Splitter.
That one. That's him, Whitebeard Skull Splitter.
This guy looks like a certified badass.
Yeah, that's how he introduced himself. So he's wearing plate and chain. He's got 2 axes that he keeps over his back. And that's him. Very wide dwarf. Looks to be middle-aged. And he's there. And everybody, I believe, is in the room with the exception of Sabin, which is just well and good because he's not here this week. Now, you were talking about leaving, finding a way out of the particular dungeon, and the dwarf mentioned to you that there was some kind of prophecy going on. You have a letter, a very mysterious letter, and that letter is B. Like that, on a sheet of parchment, if you remember. There's also another letter, a proper letter this time, written from, I should say, the High Priest of Ilmatar, written to the High Priest of Llangedin, regarding the temple, cathedral, call it what you will, that you're currently in, and about how it needs to disappear from the records of the mortal realm. If you can remember that. And I believe Delgar, you had that letter, and also the illuminated script with the B on it as well.
I do.
Okay. And that's pretty much where we left it, chaps.
Were we not making our way to the door, or...
Well,
Sorry, I might just be mad.
He did, yeah. But we kind of left it at that point. We hadn't made our ways to the door. You were discussing doing that, but we'd left it almost exactly at that point.
Okay.
Now, I can't lead you out, but I can certainly show you the way you need to go to get out. I've got to stay here, you see, but that's fine. No, well, you've got the grating, you've got to find a way across that. I don't know the way across that. I do know that water's involved. I'm sure you're a resourceful lot, you'll probably figure it out, won't you? Should we go and have a look?
Oh my god.
There you go. Right, so what you've got in front of you is a doorway that's about 4 foot wide. Then you've got a 15-foot grate with another doorway at the other end. The ceiling in here is open, goes up into darkness, and you can see and hear water dripping down from above you. It would, but you'd have to be slightly circumspect in the way that you do it, because your feet could go through the grates. But if you were cautious, yes, you could do it.
But we wouldn't be able to fall through the grates, would we? Just like our leg.
Your legs would, if you were not dexterous enough, your leg would fall through. And it's possible you could break an ankle or a leg or something like that if you were a bit crap.
Right.
But apart from that, you can just walk on the bars, as it were. They're flat bars. It's a flat grate.
Right.
Okay, what are you looking for in particular, or listening for? Alright. Alright, make a roll. Okay, the water is coming from above. You've got a shaft above you that goes up into darkness, and the water is running down the walls of
User
that.
joined your channel.
Don't worry.
Who's that? Oh,
Combo.
Hello, mate. Hello,
It's
Combo.
just a small gnome at the door. Would you mind letting me in?
Fuck you, no.
around.
Right. And there is a draft coming from above. You can feel breeze coming from up the shaft. Looking down, the grate is a shaft below it, and that disappears off into darkness as well.
Is this room in here where the grate is? Would that be big enough for a bird to fly up?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're looking at 15 foot deep from where you are to the other side, and about 15 foot across. Obviously, it's kind of, the corners are chamfered off a little bit like that, but yeah, a bird could get up there.
Okay. Can I take a piece of parchment, which I have, cast my light spell on it so it produces light?
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull up the actual spell, or is that?
No, it's fine.
And then can I call my bird and have it hold on to it in its talons and send it up?
If you wish.
Vertical.
Now, the problem being is the roof of this is further out than the floor. Right, so now you see there are basically, effectively on the map, there are two grates, aren't there? There's one superimposed over the top of the other one, right? Right. Now, the grate that runs north to south, the roof starts at the edge of the of that grate. So the roof starts there. Got me at the edge of the doorway.
Yep.
Right. Sorry, no, that's where the floor ends. That's where the floor ends. However, the roof starts at the edge of the rectangular grate that's running left to right.
Right, so
User
it
in your
starts.
channel timed out.
That's about 5 foot in. So the floor ends at the edge of the doorway, but the roof above you carries on for another 5 foot. So you can't lean out and look up
Unless someone was to go out and stand on the grate.
unless somebody was to go out and stand on the grate. That's right.
Right.
I'll do it.
Well, could they not just crawl across? It doesn't
Oh,
appear as though it's that wide. Could they not, kind of like just go prone across and lie on the grate on their back? Or
Crab
is it
walk.
too wide for that?
And still be technically in the room? Or why would you lie on the back as opposed to just walk in?
Well, I mean, in case they slept and got their leg caught down. Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
spread across it so that you're not gonna like fall through and break your leg or something. Like you could just kind of crawl across it, like lie prone. Or
I'll brace you.
All right. Okay. You put your foot on the grate, and the first thing you notice is that it seems to give a little. I mean, obviously, you're not putting all of your weight on it. You're just putting your foot onto it and then gradually increasing your weight on that leg, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
While somebody holds you. And when you get to about maybe a quarter of your body weight, you feel, well, all of you hear, but you feel the grate shift a little bit, and all of you hear the sound of metal grating on stone, just a little bit, ever so quickly.
does anyone have any rope?
I do.
Yeah, what I was just gonna suggest is we could tie a piece of rope around your legs or something, and you could try just crawl across. I mean, obviously, Falstag should be able to pull you back in case you fall, or in case something goes wrong.
We also have the holy water and the wax sealed flask of unknown liquid.
Oh, and
Might want
actually,
to see if the dwarf knows anything about them.
just outside of character, shouldn't I be able to see at least a bit through my hawk's eyes? Because I mean, he's got it in his talons, or is it just so bright it's basically blinding him?
You
Is that
see,
his
yeah, no,
talons?
yeah, you can see through your hawk's eyes, but what I was saying by that is nobody else could see up the shaft because of where the floor and the roof was. But yeah, looking through your hawk's eyes, the shaft goes up and up and up and up, maybe about 50 foot, and then above you there are iron bars blocking your way, and the bird can't get through them because they're directly above, and it can't fly through them because they're too close together. But if there's water up there, it could clearly still get through the iron bars.
Right.
Do we have an archer? If we put light on your arrow and you shoot past the iron bars, try and see what's beyond them.
Yeah, but once again, he still needs to actually get on the. Yeah, he can't see. I'm the only one who can see because I can see through my
but
bird's eyes.
since you're able to see, you would communicate to the rest of the group what is past that.
What? No, but he can't actually step out to take the shot because otherwise he might fall through the structure or
Then
the
we
grating.
put the rope around him.
Basically, oh sorry.
If you're lying flat on your back, if the floor starts to drop away, you wouldn't be in a position where you could take a shot because because of where the floor would be against your back and so on. if you had a hand crossbow or something like that, you could do it, but you've got a longbow, so you wouldn't have the draw in order to be able to shoot.
What about what's... Oh, sorry. No, I don't think so.
I remember the dwarf saying something about only good people could pass, or something along those lines. Paraphrasing here, but
He said,
I don't know. I feel like I've been pretty honorable.
he talked more about faith than good. He was talking in sort of religious terms, so more about faith, you think.
And
Okay.
the paladin shall
Right.
die.
Are you really going to?
Yes. If we do wrap a rope around me, then we can at least test it a little bit.
I just have a quick question. As far as we can see, is it just darkness underneath us? Like underneath the grate?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you've dropped anything down to see how far down.
That's what I was just going to say. Could I possibly do that? Do the same thing, light on a piece of parchment and drop it? Or not even another piece of parchment, but just the same one, have my hawk drop it?
Yeah, but it's okay. Let's have a dice roll. Roll me a d20, please. Because it's parchment and it's wet walls. I want to see whether it sticks to the wall or not.
Okie doke.
Seven. Yeah, it goes down about 20 foot and then it sticks to the wall.
And all we can just see is more darkness?
You've got this pool of light about 20 foot, but below that it disappears off into darkness still. Although actually, make a perception roll. And anyone who's looking down. So really only 2 people can look down at the moment. So I'm guessing it's going to be Bousset and you, because you're 2 at the front. Because Bousset was about to go out. 8 is not good enough.
Come on, rain, don't let us down.
That's you, mate.
Oh,
That's you, mate.
alright, sorry, I thought it was me. Or I thought it was rain. Right, sorry, it's being slow.
That's all right, mate.
Yes, a
Boom.
half elf.
And I'm a full elf.
Right, so you think there's some kind of glinting below you, but it's quite a long way down. You reckon 50, 60, 70 feet, something like that. And whatever they're glinting, you spot a few different points of glint that are spaced here and there about. I mean, they're not all together in a clump or anything. You're not quite sure what they are, it's just slightly glinting.
Right. Yeah, have to be Falstag.
Do you? On the opposing side, there's just a door, right?
That's right, just a door frame, yeah.
Well, then
Stone.
I'd like to take one step onto the grate.
Do you have a rope around you or not?
I tie a rope around.
Hang
him.
on. Before we do that, Bousset, right, do you have a rope around you?
No, I do not. And
Right.
I'm actually thinking, since it's about faith, maybe we have to have faith that it won't give way.
Oh god, you're gonna die.
Right. So he's starting to move forwards. What are the rest of you doing?
Watching in fear.
I encourage him to go. We just met the guy.
No loss. Easy come, easy go. Right, Bousset, can you roll me a d20, please? Just a d20. And can the rest of you also roll me d20s, please?
I swear to god, Bose, if you get us all blown up.
Okay. That's everybody, isn't it? Right. Busei, can you just pop down to a budding state with me quickly, please, mate?
Sure.
User left
I
your
can imagine.
channel. User left your
Okay.
channel.
Alright, he's gone.
Way to go, guys. Way to go.
See, Bose's only been here for 2 sessions. He's already broke it.
Yeah.
It's already had to be pulling into a different room.
User joined your channel.
Right. Okay, the grate opens and he plummets with a scream straight down. It just falls away. It's almost like it's hinged on the left-hand side, just gone.
Can we see where he falls to? Does he just
Falls
fall
into-
into nothingness?
He falls into darkness, and then you hear a sickening kind of cry from below, and a thud. But it sounds like he's alive.
Alright, I will attempt to lift this gate, or the grate, rather.
Okay. Please roll a strength check. Yeah, because the grate starts to come back up, basically. 10 is not good enough.
I was just gonna say,
There isn't
before we
enough
do
room. So hang on a moment, Griffin. There isn't enough. The doorway's only 4 foot wide. There isn't enough room to get 2 people in to be able to lift. It's a one-person job only, I'm afraid. And sorry, Griffin, please carry on.
Does anyone have anything heavy, like a small rock, possibly? Maybe not an arrow that could possibly kill him if he's still down there. Anything small I could drop?
I have a grappling hook.
Yeah, that could possibly kill him if I drop it. I'm looking for something small that would fit through the grate. Well, no, because if the grate comes back up, it might snap the rope. And then you fall. Fuck, let me check my inventory real quick. Would a quarterstaff fit between the grate?
I have javelins, rations, and caltrops.
Well, yeah, give me a single caltrop. Just give me a single caltrop and I can use light on it.
Alright, here you go.
Can I take the caltrop and cast light and drop it through?
User joined your
Yep.
channel.
Yep.
What do I see? Or what can we see? Can we see anything?
Right, so the light goes all the way down, and you notice that there's a pit at the bottom, and the pit has spikes in it, and there is a body, still moving, still alive, attached to the spikes. Just going to move him off there for the moment.
I can use my axe. I mean, I could use that to try to pry it open.
The quarterstaff would break. This grate weighs an absolute ton, probably almost a ton, in fact. Behind you, the dwarf is. Well, he seems to be murmuring something to himself.
I'd turn around and look at the dwarf. Hello? Did you say something?
Yeah, it's all about faith, isn't it, my friend? It's all about faith.
Well, our most faithful is impaled on a spike down below. That's where faith has gotten him.
All right.
Faith in what exactly?
Well, faith. Faith in yourself, I would guess.
Alright, well how about this? Okay, I go into like a rage and I run over and I grab the grate and I like try to lift it up again.
Okay.
It would be just athletics then, I guess.
No, strength roll, please. Okay, doesn't lift.
Ah, God.
And it, even with a 22, you can, like the rest of you, see his muscles cording like you wouldn't believe. Nah, it's not lifting. It's maybe some kind of, well, it's either latched or mechanical or there's something. But I mean, this thing, looking at it, it's 15 foot across by 15 foot deep, and it's clearly would have been thick enough to support the weight of one or more people. So you work out how much that's going to weigh, but I guarantee you one person, even the strongest person about, is probably not going to be able to lift it.
It doesn't like budge at all.
No.
Okay.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
I go back to the dwarf and I address him and I'm like, hey.
Are you stopped frenzying now? Have you stopped berserking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just berserked just because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I have plenty of faith in myself. I'm faithful to a fault, many say. But the great will not budge.
Do you think the gate will never budge?
I think it's possible, but I've given it all I have.
You're all gonna hate me for this.
What?
I want to. I really want to. I'm thinking blind faith here, and right. Okay. How does it open? Does it fold down the middle? Does it all collapse on one side? Like how is it open?
Yeah. If you wish.
There's the pool of water.
What are you doing, Griffin?
Staring. Sorry, I didn't hear you. How does it open? I think someone cut you off
Yeah,
or something.
it hinges on the left and right,
Right.
so it folds down the middle.
Yeah. Is there any way, anywhere on the walls to grab anything, or is it
Nope.
completely smooth?
Then yeah, they are. Otherwise, it would defeat the purpose of having.
Do you have the web spell?
I do not. If water falls down, don't worry, I can go down and get him. I should be fine. It depends how much water's there.
So what gives, chaps?
I'm gonna walk out onto it.
Okay. Right. Well, let's have dex rolls from the both of you. Griffin, I'll give you just what are your dex bonuses? Griffin, I'm going to give you a advantage on the roll.
What does advantage mean? Sorry,
You roll it twice and take the best roll.
Right. You said, what did you say, athletics?
Yeah.
Okay. The exact same thing. Oh, the skill involved is unreal.
It's not a strength athletics. It's more of dex, but doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I thought you said. All right.
Yeah, make a dex save in effect.
All right. Sorry, my bad.
That's all right. Okay. Right. If you just go down to a budding state for me, please, Griffin. I'll be there in a moment.
User left your channel.
Right. The gate opens. He falls through. Same sort of thing happens before plummets down out into the darkness. Back in a moment.
User left your channel.
So I have zero faith. I am probably not going to walk out
User
onto
was
there.
moved out of your channel. User left your channel.
I'm going to die in this cave. Well, mine, it could be that it could be an illusion that we think they're falling, but in reality they're crossing no problem. And that it's just perception that we're seeing. Alternatively, I don't know how far I can jump, but 20 feet doesn't seem like too difficult of a jump. You know, if I have like a running start. I mean, sorry, 10. Well, I mean, it's each grid is 5 feet, right? Yeah. Okay.
User joined your channel.
Right.
How much do you weigh? I'll give it a go. Okay, yeah, I mean, I weigh half as much as my character in real life, and I could definitely carry you.
Oh yeah, I mean, Falstag is very, very strong. So yeah.
I am. Let's do this.
Okay, can you roll me a d20, please?
Me or him, or both.
Just Farron. Okay, bear with me, Mo.
User left your channel.
Maybe we should talk to the dwarf some more. Well, I wonder if the dwarf is willing to cross, or if he can't. What did you say the dwarf's name was? That's a good name.
User joined your channel.
Right, sorry about that. Okay, so, well, actually, just to change subject ever so slightly, Combo thinks he's been hacked in WoW, which is why he's been popping about here, there, and everywhere. So they're just trying to sort that out briefly. He's tried to log into the game, and it says he needs to add an authenticator, and he doesn't have an authenticator added to his account. So it's asking for an authenticator code. So he's going to have to put in some kind of ticket and sort it all out. But there you go. Right, anyway. So you put the rope round you and you step out. Okay. What I need you to move down to a budding state for the moment, if you'd be so kind.
Channel
Yep.
switched.
Did you walk onto the plate?
So you like in the underworld too, Griffin?
User joined your channel.
Right. So have the guys told you what's happened?
No, I didn't know if we were meant to.
Okay, no, that's absolutely fine. I'm glad you didn't. Right, you step out onto the grate and you move past to the edge of the roof above you, and the first thing you notice is there is no grate, it's a solid floor. And ahead of you, you can see Bousset and Griffin quite happily standing there looking at you. And Falstag, the rope is still attached to you, and Falstag is desperately trying to pull on the rope to try and stop you from falling. He's looking down in the hole. We're looking down below you, as you expect. He's looking down the grate, and he's got this strained look on his face. The rope isn't tight around you by any means. He's holding it quite limply, but he thinks he's holding it really tightly.
You pull on the rope yourself.
No, there is a barrier. There's a barrier about here.
Let him learn faith on his own. I wouldn't. Yes.
User
I think
left
that
your
he should
channel.
learn the having faith. If we are such prophesized people, then faith would be a good thing to have. As I am also a paladin, so faith is a big part of me. Now, I'll allow you to try as much as you want, but I won't make any attempt to help.
You know, you gotta use that meta knowledge. After I said he hates Instagibs, so...
But, to be fair, it could also not be an Instagib. So what actually happened to my character?
You were impaled on spikes and kind of twitching.
Oh, nice. I like the quote though. I don't
User
think there's
joined your channel.
Okay. He, Foul Snag, lets go of the rope, shouts Tempest, and runs out onto the grate. And he now runs, so you could all head back up to the other channel now.
Alright.
Okie doke.
User left your channel. Switched.
Hello.
Tempest?
User joined your channel.
I didn't let go of you. I yelled Tempest. I rolled a 20. I was holding on to you. I didn't let go of you.
What a nice friend.
I still got you. I still got the rope in my hand. I'm yelling Tempest and jumping down with you.
But yes, so looking back, you realise that actually there's no grate. It's a solid floor. The ceiling above you is open, and there is a bit of a draft, but there's no danger up there, and there's no danger below you. It's all an illusion. And you can see the dwarf back, just kind of smiling in your direction.
I'll give him a nod.
He turns away and starts heading back up the passage.
I'll try to open the door and say, shall we get going then?
Onward to adventure.
Okay. You head down. There is a big iron door at the bottom of the stairs. The stairs go down, actually, they go down further than those stairs seem to indicate. They probably go down quite steeply. You're a bit far out. Doesn't matter, I suppose. Sorry. That's all right. There's no, actually, don't think I changed the lighting, did you? So you can see what's going on. Okay, my bad. It's a portcullis gate then, rather than a gate. And it looks like it's secured top and bottom. And that's
He exists. I'll be right back.
Hello, Anatsum. Right. Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm going to say he's with you because he missed everything and it would be awkward. Actually,
You get impaled by spikes.
no, I'm not. Although it's going to make you type. Right, Anatsum. If you remember at the end of the last session, everybody moved down towards what they perceived to be the exit, and they came across this grate. Forget everybody ahead of you on the map as you see them. What you've got is a grate in the floor above you, and it's every time somebody has walked out on it, it's opened and they've fallen through. Yeah. So the grate in the floor has opened and everybody's fallen through. Now, the last two people, Ferron went out, the paladin, the new paladin, Kevros, went out first, and the grate opened and he fell. A few seconds later, Griffin Delgar, the mage, tried it very gingerly, and that didn't work either. Next, what happened was the ranger tied some rope around him, and Falstag, the huge half-orc, held it. The grates opened, the ranger fell down, going unconscious, and the big half-orc held onto the rope for as long as he could before finally just diving down the channel after the people that have gone before him. So, and then each time after that, the grate has now swung back up and is closed. And the dwarf paladin who's with you has talked about people having faith. So everybody that you can see in front of you is down the bottom of the pit, but I've just moved them there to keep them out of the way. How are you going to get across? What are you going to do? What's your thoughts? Yeah, and the paladin. Yeah, and the paladin shouted to Ilmatar, sorry, as he headed over, and so did the half-orc, shouted Tempest. The other two didn't say anything out loud. Maybe their faith wasn't
I
that
don't remember
great.
shouting.
Do you not? I thought you did. I thought you made some motion towards Ilmatar. Okay, you didn't. So just the barbarian has said something. Yes, everyone so far has fallen down. And from the mage dropped a piece of paper with a magical light on it, and it fell down about 20 feet, and you could realise that the shaft is probably about 50 to 70 feet deep. Well, it went down into darkness because the paper got stuck about 20 feet down, but there was some kind of glinting at the bottom that you're unsure about, just in the gloam of the torch, of the continual light spell. Yeah, you can. A couple of them still seem to be conscious. The others appear to be unconscious. But then, well, when I say conscious, they're alive. I mean, they're making unpleasant sort of pained noises. They don't appear to respond to you. It looks like they're in too much pain. There's only a couple that appear to be conscious, and they're in a lot of pain, so that you don't get anything coherent back. The ranger tried that, and he had to put about a quarter of his body weight onto the actual grate before it would start to open. Touching it isn't going to work.
Just a side note, is my caltrop still down there? Or shouldn't it still be down there? Well, not my caltrop, but the caltrop with light.
He said that.
Did he? Alright, sorry. It's just because Anatsum said he wanted to cast Produce Flame to see what's at the bottom.
Well, there is he can't see the caltrop, no.
Yeah, but he can see the light it's producing. Or am I wrong in saying that?
No, he can't.
Oh, alright. Sorry, my bad then.
That's all right. The dwarven paladin is just stood in the corridor, watching.
What do we see while we're here?
I'll be quick, I promise.
No, I was just wondering if we were able to see a Natsum.
Yeah, you can see when he sort of looks out over the grate from that doorway. Yes, you can see him.
Can I walk back across?
No. No, you can see the other side. It's 15 feet across. However, the difference being is the floor ends at the edge of the doorway here. So that's where the floor ends. However, the ceiling above you, which is only about 7 foot, ends at the edge of the rectangular grate that goes left to right, so here. So there's a 5 foot gap with no floor and ceiling above you, so you can't get the trajectory up in order to get out and over. And even if you could, you've got a 15 foot gap to jump that you'd have to do utterly horizontally without any kind of vertical movement whatsoever. Well, the whole thing is a church, is a temple. And you do have a dwarven paladin who you got out of the coffin. So there are lots of religious icons around the entire building. There is nothing in this particular room. Many of the floors have that big circle with the cross battle axes in it, which is the holy symbol for the dwarven god of the dwarven god Clangeddin. And that dwarven paladin that's with you at the moment bears those same holy symbols around his neck and on his armour. He goes, I could. What are you looking for? You injured? I could heal your wounds, I suppose. Is there anything you're looking for in particular? I don't have anything like that, I'm afraid. I've kind of got combat spells, really. I can turn undead. Not terribly helpful. You're not undead, are you? You don't look undead. Okay. Okay, right. The rest of you, you see an Atsum walk out across and over to you.
Yay.
I let him know that we were sitting there watching him the entire time.
Yeah. And if you look back, you notice that behind you there is no grate. It's just a solid stone floor. But you don't see that until you get to this side.
I saw you dangling, and you were hanging there, and you were unresponsive. You wouldn't communicate, but you appeared to be stuck. I couldn't pull you back up, but you weren't falling. You were just like suspended.
Okay, so once you all get across, he turns and walks away. He does wave as he goes, if you look. And he walks out of sight. If you shout to him, he sort of waves in acknowledgement but doesn't respond and just wanders out of sight. Right, so Kevros and Delgar, in front of you, you have an iron portcullis style gate that is down.
Shall we attempt to open it then?
I'm gonna look around for like cranks or switches or any way to open it mechanically.
It doesn't appear to be anything like that. It looks like you just need to lift it.
Oh, well, then I will lift it.
Okay. Strength check. You can get 2 people to this should you need it.
Alright.
Span's in charge of the car.
Anyone want to help me lift this?
I've got 16 strength.
Alright. Give me a hand.
So basically, what I was going to say is when you help somebody like that, what you do is you give the strongest person advantage on their strength roll. So you helping Falstag gives him advantage. So you take the 22 as opposed to his 7 and your 14.
Alright.
And a 22 is good enough. It's rusty. It's clearly been open to the elements, but it does start to lift. And then it gets to a point where you can get your hands underneath it and you can start to open it, and it starts to get freer the more you move it. Obviously, as you start to break off some of the rust and the dust that's got into the mechanism. You can hear the rushing of water, though, much like you could in that other room with weapons. Big rushing of water.
Alright, I like to hold it open and let everyone else pass underneath.
Okay, when it gets to about 3/4 of the way up, it's virtually no effort to push it up or hold it open at all. It's like it's counterbalanced, and you've freed the counterbalance now.
Oh, okay.
Right, so if you zoom your map out, if you'll head outside, I'll describe what you see. Now, you've got a cliff face, grassy cliff face. The wall behind you goes up maybe 150 feet and looks perilous, and there's lots of overhangs above you. To your right, you can see the worked stone tower, the room that you were in earlier that you could look out on with the arrow slits, that's probably 70-80 feet above you. The area that you're on at the moment is probably 15 foot wide between the wall and the cliff face, and the cliff face goes down about 60 feet to a torrent of water. You do not want to be in that water. It's coming down from the waterfall that you can see to your left at one hell of a rate into that, and it's flowing really quickly. Doesn't matter whether you are in armor or not, you do not want to be in that at all. There is a rope bridge that looks old and slightly rickety, but otherwise relatively intact. And the other side of you, there is another green area. Now, the area you're in completely is like a, what do they call it, a calder? It's an enclosed area, so apart from the river, there is no way in or out of this area apart from the door that you've just come through, or climbing up 150 to 200 feet's worth of sheer, overhanging, treacherous cliff face. In the bottom right hand corner of the map, you see a building, a tower, 2-story tower that is in good condition. It's made of a very white, light coloured stone that doesn't appear to have been impacted by the elements too much. Treacherous. It's very, very jagged, goes down about 70 feet to that treacherous water. If you fell, you would dash yourself open as you fell.
Falstag walks up to Delgar and claps him on the shoulder and says, "It's all about faith." And I walk out onto the bridge.
Okay.
I shout out, "You're gonna die!"
Right, can I have a dex check, please? Actually, let's have an athletics roll. You can either do athletics or a dex save, whichever's better.
Boom.
Nice. Okay, you make it across. Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
this area.
smell this flower right here.
All right. So this area you're in is like a caldera-style cauldron area. So it's sheer on all sides, apart from the river that heads out to your right. Sorry, to your left as you look at it, but as the right as you look at the map. Who's next? Anatson?
I'll give it a bash.
All right. No. You go. You make the roll, but Anatson is typing, so obviously he can't speak. So I want to pay attention to what he says.
Yep.
But
He said either a dex saving throw or athletics.
Yeah.
whichever's better. Yeah. No, and in all fairness, Anatson, the water is so fast flowing that they probably don't live. They can't live in there. And it smells salty as well, so there have to be saltwater animals. 23, not a problem. You easily make your way across. It dips a bit in the middle, much like a rope bridge does, and it creaks as you cross, much as it did when Falstad crossed, but nevertheless, you cross it.
I shall try next.
Okay. Lovely. Same again. You walk across carefully, but you make it all the way to the other side. The good thing is the bridge is dry. The water is probably 30, 40 feet away from you, so it's spattered with the misty fine rain that's coming from the waterfall, but apart from that, it's dry, so it's easier to get across. If this was wet as well, it would be just suicide. Okay. Yep, you make it across. You think at one point you're going to lose your footing, but you just hang on to the side and you make it across. Sabin makes it across as well. And that's him. Yes, please. Either whatever's higher, a dex check or a strength athletics check, whatever's higher. Okay, you get halfway and you lose your footing. Can I have another dex roll, please? Okay, that's fine. You steady yourself for a bit, hold yourself still until the bridge stops swaying, which it was doing alarmingly, and you make your way cautiously to the other side. Right, those of you heading towards the tower, what you have is a big two-story tower that is open. It has a doorway that's facing you, pretty much Falstad where you are, and there is no door in the doorway. On the second story, there are windows, no glass in them, just openings, oval, archway windows, situated in 6 spots around the wall, and there's no glass in them. It's all completely open. You look in through the door.
What do I see in there?
Right. The map should be changing.
Oh wow.
Ho ho.
Cocaine. And it's gone. Oh wow.
Right, so what you have is... Let's just put you there. Right. Place yourselves near Falstad. You're not inside yet, so just place yourself around. Right, looking through the door, you have, as you can see, on the floor, there is a circle that is engraved into the stone, and it bears the same dwarven marks that the circle, the ritual circle of gold, had in the other room. There are 6 chairs, each one a different colour, arranged around the room at equal points. The black bit in the middle is an obsidian dais that goes up to a pedestal, very, very thin white pedestal, and that pedestal is maybe an inch thick, tapered at the bottom, tapered at the top, and there is a blue orb floating above the pedestal surface, and this blue orb is maybe 6 inches, 9 inches across, and you can see through it. It's just like a glowing ball of energy that gently ripples. And on the floor in front of each one of the chairs is a marking. You can go in if you wish and move about. The northern chair and the black chair to the right have vines growing on them, and there are a lot of cobwebs in here, but they're not spiders' webs, they're cobwebs, so they're old.
I sit in this gold chair.
You sit in the gold chair. Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something you can do a nature check on the vines as well if you wish. Yes, mate, it's fine. Okay, they look like normal vines if that's what you were looking for. Rain. Yeah, and for you and Atsum, they're normal vines. You can clear them off of that chair if you wish. Yes, that is an engraving of a bear in the floor in front of you, and you sit in that one. Okay. An engraving.
Not an actual bear?
No.
Aw.
Just an engraving. Yeah, so everything you see on the floor in front of each one of the chairs is a very lifelike and coloured, but it's an engraving nevertheless.
Is there any text inside this, or is it completely blank? This book here, or the engraving. Is there any text, or is it blank?
There is the idea of text, but it's not actual words. But it's designed to represent the fact there are words there. But it's not language. It's just, representation. To basically say, look, this is a book, sort of thing, and this is a book because there's writing inside it, but it doesn't say anything. You get me?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll sit in the chair as well.
Okay, which one are you sitting in?
The blue one with the sword in front of it.
Right. Sorry, Rain. Well, there's 6 chairs. I believe there's 6 of you.
I'm gonna go over and pick Sabin up and put him down in the one with the dagger.
Just pick him up, plop. You here.
You here.
Plop him in that chair, and I sit in the big one with the axe.
Okay. You all get the feeling, if you sit in those chairs, that you need to say something out loud in order to complete something. That's as vague as detail as I'm going to be.
We must have faith.
I'll speak a prayer of Ilmater.
I shout, "B!"
What? Sorry, what are you shouting?
The
B.
letter B.
The letter B.
Okay. Well, actually, the letter B, yeah, that almost feels right. That almost feels right. As soon as you say it, you think, oh, hang on.
Beer, bees, bananas.
Booty.
Forever.
besties forever, or yeah, clearly. No,
I think
but in all
Saban had
seriousness,
the books that we had found.
in all seriousness,
Yeah.
seriousness though, shouting out the letter B almost felt right. Again, to you, it almost feels right. Yes, you're on the right track, but it's not. It's not right. It's good, but it's not right, as Roy Walker would say. Yeah, that doesn't. Okay, you shout out Clangedin, echoes around the room.
I have a couple of those books that we got, the prayer books, in my satchel. Can I, while these guys are doing this, kind of read through them?
Okay, you pull a book out and start reading it.
Right. That's me for the next couple of minutes.
I'm
Okay.
kind of confused why people are yelling things.
Fair enough.
You don't need to yell, please. It's a small room.
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm only like 30 foot away, for God's sake. Noob.
So we were told about Clangadon, but was there another dwarven god that was mentioned that I can't remember right now? Does anyone recall that?
There wasn't another one mentioned, but there are quite a few other dwarven gods, yes.
You said we were in like a caldera outside, right?
Yeah.
Would I be able to roll intelligence, like history or something, to see if I know of any calderas nearby where I left?
Near where you left, yes, if you wish.
So, just an int check, or
No, it feels worse, in fact. It felt better when you sat down and at them. But it's still... It's not quite right. It's almost there. It's not quite there. It's almost there.
I shout, "Blue orb!"
Okay, doesn't feel right. No, you're not aware of any, Kevros.
I'll say to them, I don't think that we're very near or I think the portal is taking us further than I expected.
It more feels like that whenever you say B, you yourself are missing something. It's not quite right. It's a good start, but it's not everything. Yep. If you wish. No. No.
Since Saban's not here, do you know if he had any books that we'd found in the castle we just left?
I'm pretty sure I was given them all.
Yeah, Delgar
Okay.
was giving you. Not that seemed poignant to you at this particular point in that, so no.
So does anyone speak Dwarvish besides Saban?
Yeah, me, Delgar. That's
The,
why I'm reading the books right now.
The runes, like the etchings around in the circle, can you read those?
Yeah, they're the same runes that were around the circle of the other one, and you read those. This, again, is basically something to ward off any kind of scrying in or out. And also to stop decay going on. It's an area of tranquility and sanctity, security in this area. That's what it's for. That's obviously for you, Griffin. You can read them.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I probably would have relayed that, but have I found anything in the books that I've read so far?
Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff, but are you looking at the books?
Is there anything that pops? Is there anything that pops out to me as to it would, you know?
Are you looking at the books of Common Prayer, or are you looking at the few books they had on prophecy?
The ones on prophecy.
Okay, well, the ones on prophecy all mention some kind of falling star, for a start. And the one that you're looking at is now talking about 6 people who were sent to the dwarven temple of Llangedin in order to what's the right word? Witness something. And it happens, it's seems to have that happened when there was a falling star.
Right.
You're unsure. Okay, you say I believe in Atom, that doesn't seem to do anything. But you're unsure whether you're meant to say an incantation of sorts, but when you say the letter B out loud, you definitely feel like whatever you're doing is on the right track, but it is not the be all and end all. There is something that you're missing, not saying at the same time. There's something else that you're missing, but you're not sure what.
Can I speak to Anatsum, I guess, because I presume he's within earshot.
Oh yeah, easily.
Do you have the ability to turn into a bear by chance? Right. Do you have anything that resembles a bear? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of Anatsum. I mean, I'm thinking my spell book, but all of this kind of resembles something we all have. Sabin has a dagger. I'm pretty sure that Farron has a sword. Farron has a bow, and Falstaff has an axe. Or Kevros, sorry, I don't know why I said Farron.
Yes, I do have a sword.
I just don't know. Yeah, but then you can't speak, and it seems to be the letter B.
You can meow. Meow the letter B. Meow?
Fucking Scooby-Doo up in here.
Ruh-roh.
No.
They don't actually have lips to make it.
Can I open my spellbook and just shout B? Hi, Rise.
Sorry, mate, say again.
I said, can I open my spellbook and just shout B?
You do that. What's that?
And nothing happens. Brilliant.
Can I just start listing letters after B, like B-A, B-B, B-C?
Might be here a while.
You say
Isn't that
Bane.
an evil god?
You say Bane. Nothing appears to happen.
does anything come from me saying each of the letters?
No.
All right.
Bane was the god that we had read about before, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You haven't.
what was the name? Oh, sorry.
No, so I was going to say, there's been no reference made to him while you've been in here.
Yeah, what was the name of the group of the people we were chasing?
The Zentarim.
Oh, well, fuck. Never mind then. It's my idea out the window.
Yeah, let's try saying B all together.
Well, I think we did that. But let's try it again. 3, 2,
Wait, let's
1.
let's all
B.
draw our weapons and possibly do
Alright.
it.
I always have my weapon, so.
Alright, well, instead of drawing a weapon, I'll have my spell book open, but yeah. Yeah, let's harmonize it, like all in unison.
Okay, apart from feeling a bit silly, nothing happens.
I don't feel silly.
Besties forever.
Besties forever. It's still, all of you now you've said it out loud there, you feel that it's a great start, but it's not everything. There is more to come. There is something else that you're overlooking when you say the letter B. So you get the impression that, yes, you need to be vocal. You need to say something. No, it's all made of stone, the whole lot.
You know how there was that decorated bee I had in a letter?
Yes.
Or on the big decorated bee?
Yep.
You know how in some novels, books, they have like decorated letters to start off a sentence?
Yep.
Like in the beginning of a chapter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do any of the books or that personal note that we had to the group, I can't remember, the cultist group or whatever it was, do any of those have a letter?
Illuminated script.
Like,
yes. All of the Dwarven books have illuminated script. All of them. The Bane prayer book doesn't, but all of the Dwarven books do. But none of them have the B in the exact same style as the one you've got on that sheet of paper at all, but they all have illuminated script.
Right.
I hope I didn't get us down a goose, off on a tangent by just saying
No.
B.
Chairs are fixed. No, you think you're on the right track. It is
Okay,
definitely
good.
on the right track. No, you can't. Just the B. That's all you can see.
And Atom's just asked if the chairs are fixed or if they could be rotated.
And I answered, yes, they're all fixed. They're all made of stone and they're fixed to the floor. None of the chairs move at all. None of them.
Right, sorry, that's my bad.
And the colours are painted, engraved into the stone. Pick a letter of the alphabet. They're all illuminated in the scripts all the way through the different books, all of them. Basically, every page starts with an illuminated letter. Every single one.
Can I cast a firebolt at the
Yes,
orb?
they are. You don't have fire. Firebolt.
Oh, fire, fuck, what is it? Cast a mote of fire, it's a cantrip.
Produce flame.
No, it's not produce flame.
Oh, firebolt then.
Yeah. Let me check just to make sure.
It's 1d10.
Bolt is the cantrip. A ball is the 3rd level spell.
Yeah, I said bolt. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, Falstag doesn't know.
Religion's not my strong suit.
I don't know.
I don't think it is a god necessarily. It might be like a, like an incantation, like he was saying. Have you seen anything in your book that begins with a B?
Yeah, you find words that begin with B in the book, quite a few. Different Bs, not illuminated in any way the same. In fact, looking at them, not even illuminated by the same people. Different style. Different style to the one that you have. The big B on the paper is different to the styles in the books, is what I mean.
Everything.
Everything. The start of every single page has an illuminated letter, so it's in the specific style of the giant B that you've got on a piece of paper. None of them. They're all illuminated differently to each other, all the way through all the books that he's got. And you've got about 4 books, I believe.
I've got 2 common prayer books.
And I think you've got 2 books of prophecy as well.
Yeah, one we found in the building and one that we got off. Who was it who left again? Sorry.
It was Mutica. You got that.
Yeah,
Mutica.
he had that one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got that off him.
And they all have illuminated script in them, but they've all been done by different people. Do any of the letters have the snake pattern on them? Sure, why not? Yeah, some of them do.
Question. You mentioned that there's a prayer book to Bane. I
There is
don't
a-
recall that.
Right. That might have been the session that you weren't there. That's the session that they went through the portal to bring them into this place.
Okay.
They just brought the book with them. Yes, and that's some. Yes, some of them have some kind of snake pattern on them, but one of them's a T and the other one's a G. Oh, and there's an H as well. Sorry, Rain. Yeah, that's all of them. All the books you've got, the 4 books, the 2 books of prayers and the 2 books of prophecies all have illuminated script. They all look like they've been done by different people, but in a so the styles are different, but they're all within a similar sort of framework.
Is this right? Sorry, you might have said this, and I might not have heard you.
Okay. Yep.
Is this elevated to the point where we could maybe touch the orb, or is it like
Oh yeah.
10, 15 feet in the air?
No. What you've got is each step up, each concentric circle is just a step. And in the very middle, you've got a very, very thin pedestal made of a white marble-like stone that starts out about 6 inches at the base and then tapers up in a curve to the middle, which is about 1 inch wide, and then tapers out at the top to about 6 inches again in a nice steady curve. And it's got a flat, well, slightly concave surface, and then floating above it about 3 inches is this blue ball of light about 9 inches across.
Can I go up and touch it?
You wave your hand into it, you can't feel anything.
Right, and also is this room completely empty aside from obviously the
So,
bit in the middle and the
Just what you
seats?
see. Just what you see.
Right. Okay. Oh, that cloudy potion in a jar thing.
The wax sealed one, yeah. Well, I asked to show it to the dwarf and see if he knew anything about it, but he didn't seem to say anything, so.
Well, he shook his head, said, no, don't know, sorry mate.
I will totally drink it if you guys need someone to drink it. I'll be the guinea
Well,
pig.
you still feel, all of you who have said the letter B, which you have, is there is something that you need to do that's a vocal, and you're almost there. That's what you really feel.
Be happy.
Don't what? Can we start reciting Bob Marley?
No.
That no was great.
So no ifs, ands, or buts. Right. No, you cannot set me on fire. That's not fair. Oh.
I bow. say bow.
Oh man. Battle axe.
Battle.
These lights seem to be coming from your foreheads, by the way. The three of you are now sat in your chairs, whether you like it or not, and you can't move. But
Can I say book?
But you feel safe, I might add. You feel safe.
Can I say book?
Like nothing can harm you.
How
There we
about
go.
blade? I don't know, there's not very many safe words that start with B.
Right, and Sabin kind of goes, okay, he looks about and he racks his brain and he starts thinking of words that begin with B, and eventually he says the word bodkin. I know, right?
Bodkin, I like it.
Well,
What, you don't think he could've come up with that?
I would have allowed you to use Google for other words for things like that if push came to shove. Because your character would know the other words for things like that, but I wasn't going to feed it to you.
Alright.
Okay, right. And when that happens, when all 6 of them are lit, the blue glow starts to spread a little bit more.
So they're just increasing in like diameter. Oh god. If I get vaporized, I'm blaming you all.
Blaming Natsum, he did it first.
Him and his bear fetish.
Or the purple glow, I should say. And the lights all go out. But you feel sort of the lines from your foreheads go. They disappear from your foreheads, but they're still hanging there. The suggestion of light in the air in front of you. You can now all move. However, you all feel... If any of you are injured, by the way, you're all on full hits. So if any of you are injured at all, you're on full hits. And not only that, you have full hit dice back as well. So if you'd spent any during rests to heal, you have everything back. Full hits and full hit dice. If you spent any spells or cast any spells and any spell slots are gone, you have all of those back. Basically, you are topped up on everything. And you all feel amazing. And the light through the windows has changed. It's now dark. It wasn't. It was maybe midday when you went in here.
Have we seemed to lost time?
Time has definitely moved somewhere, yes.
I'd like to check outside then.
Okay. You are not where you expect to be.
Guys, you should see this.
I'm going to go see this.
Hang on. I just need to get you to another map.
I feel like I'm in Inception all of a sudden.
I know, right?
It was all a dream.
So you thought you were here, but you're actually here. Oh, but why you actually thought you were here? No, you're actually over here. And here isn't actually here, it's actually there.
Oh, so I'm there.
Yeah, but there is here, and here is there.
Exactly, so we're there. We're
Yeah.
there yet.
Is that going to be the end to this? If we all just wake up
Your
drunk in an
butthole
alley?
feels slightly weird.
We'll see.
Right, top left-hand corner of the map. You'll see a tower that looks very, very similar to where you are.
Very small, this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now, it's dark. Around you, to your left and right, the doorway is in the southeastern corner, by the way. There. Yeah. And it looks out towards a castle ahead of you that's probably, well, not a big castle, more like a fortified keep of some kind than anything. But what you can hear, though, is the sounds of battle. And I don't mean a little bit of combat. I mean full-on raging torrent of like combat, a maelstrom of war going on. And it's all around you. Presumably it's echoing off of the mountains to your left and right as you look out the door.
Falstag runs out to survey the battle.
Right, the first thing you notice when you run out is that you're dressed differently. All of you are dressed differently. You're all wearing very, very similar outfits. Tabards and leather armour, all of you. You still have the weapons that you normally wield, but the armour you're wearing is very different.
Do I know what the adornments represent?
You do. You do. Well, I need you to... Does anyone have history?
Sabin
I
does.
might. Let me check.
Sabin does. Right, in that case, all of you can roll an... is it int, I believe, for history?
Yep.
Yes.
Make an int check.
So that's just an intelligence saving throw.
Basically, yes. And if you have...
Ba, 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 ba,
Or a history
ba.
check, that's fine.
Boom!
Okay. 19. 18. Right, Anatsum, Delgar. The two of you notice that your tabards have elven runes on them. Now, one of the other things that you all notice is that all of you are elves. All of you are elves. Okay, that's important. Falstag is a really massive elf, but nevertheless, he is an elf. Those of you who are half-elves are similar size to how you are normally, but you're an elf. All of you are elves. That's the first thing. Now, you understand that what you've... the writing that you've got written on there... Oh, and Natsum, can you read Elvish? You can, can't you?
I can.
I
Right.
can as well.
I know you can, but it was... I wanted to make sure Natsum could. I can't remember, but yes, okay. And
All right.
right, well, though all of you who can read Elvish see that you have the sigil of an area. The two of you understand this. The two of you who rolled the history checks of an area of the world called Chantal Othria. Now, as far as you're aware, Chantal Othria is an area of Faerun that hasn't been seen in millennia. Absolute millennia. Those of you who can read Elvish see that it does say Chantal Othria, but it means nothing to you if you didn't make the roll, if you didn't make the int roll. So everybody else who can read Elvish who isn't Delgar or Anatsum, you can read Chantal Othria, but it's like, okay, well, I don't know what that means. Right. You can also, underneath it, it mentions Arivandar, which is an elven settlement. Yes, you can, yeah. And in fact, you do, to save your typing hands. And Anatsum says...
Interdasting.
Interesting.
Very interdasting.
And although you can't see any battle, you do know that ahead of you there appear to be people being treated for injuries. The sky is dark. The sky is being lit up with flames, and there are explosions of magic going off. And in the distance, off to the left, you can see this massive, massive, massive gate, which is at the top of your map, slightly further along, the big black gates. They're about 50 foot across and about 100 foot high, these gates. And over the top of the mountains, just above those gates, is a massive golden dragon, like ancient golden dragon.
Well, I would like to find out what happened, or assist in the treating of wounded, and find out from the other people that are treating their what the battle is going on about.
Okay, you move over, you head down towards the keep, and the two buildings that are attached to the back of it appear to be makeshift hospices. If you wish, I haven't, I'm going to neither confirm nor deny that. There are more than one gold dragon in the world, by the way. So, but you can assume whatever you wish.
That's racist.
All right, calm down.
I don't know that we met a gold dragon yet.
Quick question. You said we're all in leather armor, right?
Yeah.
So, does that mean that I can't cast spells?
No, you can cast spells.
I thought I can't cast spells if I'm wearing any form of armor.
That's correct, you can't.
Right. Do I, while I'm wearing this, do I have the benefits of wearing leather armor then, like the DC?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. You go over to help the injured man, and the priest who's tending him turns to look at you blankly and says, "Go back to your position. We've got this under control. Go down and speak to Lorethian."
I guess I should go down and speak to Lorethian.
Okay. And he
I'll
points round.
motion for the others to follow.
So we understand like Elvish now. Like
Yeah, you do. If you can't
Okay.
speak it before, you now speak Elvish.
See, now you guys all get a taste of what the awesome race is.
Right. Yeah, Falstag. Obviously, you can't tell that you look Elvish, I might add. But you can't tell that you feel any different. You just feel, all of you feel exactly the same as you did before, apart from wearing different clothing. However, other people looking at you can tell that you look Elvish and you're not going to know unless they say something.
all right.
No, you look the same. And those of you who are half elves, you still look like you would look like if you were an elf. So if you took more after your elven parent than your human parent. So many of your human aspects have been pared back. So half elves generally are slightly bulkier than elves. Elves are quite thin. So you've lost that bulk that you would associate with your human parentage. Okay, so you head round to the left-hand side of this keep, and what you notice is that, first of all, you're in a marsh. And this marsh is waterlogged, and it's running with blood and copper and so on. You see some siege engines, very ornate-looking siege engines, round the left-hand side of the building. There's also a small fortified building, and there are some elves stood in front of it, and it's open to the side that you're on completely, and it's fortified to the other side, and you can see a table in the middle around which are 5 elves, one of which stands out, looks to be in charge, and is dressed in finer armour.
Are you Loralthian?
He looks like that.
Ew.
That totally looks like a lady.
Oh god.
He does look slightly feminine, but it is definitely a man. He turns to look at you, and he smiles. Go on. He, so I don't understand you. Could you say that again? Yeah. Oh, right. No, not at all. He doesn't look like that at all. He just looks at you and smiles. However, he looks different to most of the elves that you've seen as well. He's got quite golden skin and features to him, bronzed almost. Looks very, very different. Doesn't look like a high elf or a wood elf particularly, but he definitely looks like an elf. And he walks out from the room that he's in, heads towards you. You can see that the room beyond him is a war room. So there's a table with people poring over a map of an area. Now, past the siege engines, you notice that there is a line of elven archers. To draw that. Sort of there. So there's, and it's about maybe 3 or 4 archers deep, and there's a small palisade, and the siege engines that you see are firing over the top of that. He heads towards you. Right, those of you who are really elves feel some kind of kinship with this guy. Those of you who are half elves, in reality I shall say, feel something familiar with this guy, and Falstag, he's just an elf. Because in reality you're not an elf at all, or even half an elf, or even a quarter of an elf. Do you get me?
Yep. I got you.
Okay. He smiles, and he says, "We're fighting the orcs, but I thought you would have known that already, Ferrum." You are one of the soldiers underneath my command. I know each individual one of my soldiers by name. Do I know of your issue? You mean your history? Not in great detail. I know the history of many of the Telquasir, but I don't know the history of all of them in detail. For instance, I know that Delgar over there is looking for something. I know that Kevros over there is also looking for something. Fortunately, Falstag is going to be quite safe. Looking like he does. Otherwise, not so much. But I'm glad you made it here. Oh, I didn't bring you here. I did not bring you here. No, that I give you my word, I didn't bring you here. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked into it. Give me a few minutes, I could probably work it out. But where you are, you're in the God's Theatre. That probably means nothing to you. You're in the Tunlands.
Quick question: do we have our stuff like?
Yep.
Okay, so we haven't just like lost all our stuff. We're just
Nope.
dressed differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one, Anaxum? Which falling star?
Prophecy of the Falling Star.
Yes, but which star in particular?
One that starts with E.
Yes, he's asking you, in fact, Anaxum, which star in particular. He says, currently, we're in the marshes of Tun, between the Sunset Mountains and the Stormhorns. We're just to the west of the King's Forest and Cormyr.
Can I ask him what year it is and compare that to what I know is the actual year?
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, do you see that, Griffin?
Yeah, I'm
chat?
fine with doing that.
Right. Okay, you pull the book out, pull it out, start showing to him. He says, well, knowing from where you were last, I would say the difference in time from where you were to where we are now is about 10,700 years.
Oh my.
This is the Battle of the Gods Theatre. So far, since the battle has started, nearly 70,000 elves have died.
What are you fighting?
The Orc Horde. Come. He gestures for you to follow him.
Well, I'll follow.
On we go. I don't know. Don't think so.
No, there wasn't. He says, you're currently in the Arivandar, which is owned by the clan Vishan. This is Chantalothria, and we are currently in the Battle of the Gods Theatre. Walk up onto the palisades with me. And he walks up onto the palisades where that black line is. I assume you head up. Right, you're looking out now over marshes, and they stretch on far, far, far past the edge of this map. And it's just a sea of bodies, people fighting. In the distance, you can see the orcs marshalling and moving diagonally towards you, and there are elves where you are fighting and pushing southeast. There are tens upon tens upon tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of people in this plain in front of you. In the sky above you, there are gold and silver dragons dogfighting with red and black and white dragons. Magic is flying about left, right and centre, and you can see giants lobbing stones at the elves and being met by the most immense and almighty magics in return. Good question. Well, it seems to me that you're here to bear witness to something. Now, what you're bearing witness to today is the elves driving back the orcs. And I know that means something to some of you. And Falstag, you'll have to bear with us here. I don't mean no disrespect to you. I know your situation. But you're bearing witness to the might of the elves destroying the orcish horde. The orcs were set onto us by the Mieritar, the elves with the dark skin. Well,
I'm not an orc, I'm a half-orc. It's not the same.
he seems to know something, clearly, by the way he's talking, but he hasn't said anything directly. But yes, an answer. And the tide of battle has been turned, and we are driving them back. I think this is what you were here to bear witness.
Can I ask what started this war?
Yes. It was started by the Mieritar, the Dark Elves.
Are these dark elves different than the Drow I know of?
Then the what?
Drow?
Ah, yes. You mean the Herau?
Oh, geez.
Sure, let's go with that.
I mean, are they surface elves, or do they live under the ground?
Oh, the Mieritar are surface elves.
Alright.
But that's not important now. I have a feeling that's to come. Interesting. Well, I think I must send you back to where you came from, for the moment. Somehow I think we'll be meeting again, very, very soon. Stop who? Him, not her.
Yeah, I nudge him and I'm like, it's that boy.
Well, he starts walking back down and says, follow me. But if you want to ask questions, you can just do that while you're going. Because we've killed 100,000 of them.
War is a slow process.
The dragons are the gold and silver dragons are my friends. I asked the leader of the gold dragons, and he says a name that almost kind of hurts your ears. It's almost indecipherable whether he would assist in driving back the evil, because the orcs have a hold over some of the dragons, the red, the black, the white, the evil ones, and they said they would gladly help. As you look in the sky, you see, very soon, mate, you see a silver dragon, but it's not like the other silver dragons. It's almost chrome. It's not, because that would be naff, but it's almost chrome in its silveriness. It looks different. It's bigger than the others, bigger than the silver dragons, and it's a shinier silver. and it's flying around, and it's fighting the red, the black, and the white as well. He's alive. That's all I can say. And don't worry, you will meet again. And you will meet again under favourable circumstances. Now, if you would care to stand in this circle, he points at an area of ground. There is no circle there, says just stand there. All of you together. Do all of you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it as well.
Right. And he holds his hand out, and he just burns a circle into the ground around you using just pointing his finger at the ground. And it burns through the water and through the mud, and it almost like parts the water and replaces it with a small amount of fire. It's very strange. It just burns it, like no effort whatsoever. Just like burn, just burns the circle into the ground. Says, we'll meet again. Snaps his fingers and you will disappear. Like it ain't no thing, basically. He's just like, yeah, off you go. Boom, gone. As he does that, just the sheer unadulterated power that is emanating off of him in waves is incredible. Like nothing you've ever experienced before in your life. Like nothing you've ever experienced before in your life. And we shall leave it there.
All right.
God damn it, you're 1 minute over the time I needed to leave.
Well, then leave.
You should have gone a minute ago.
Right.
Then.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
User disconnected from your channel.
Hopefully your voice will be better next week, and that's Oh, just to let you know that we actually started at 8 p.m, which you turned up the equivalent of 9:40, so an hour and 40 after we would have started. We should have started. We didn't start at 8 p.m. after we should have started. So I don't know whether your clock's changing on the 2nd of November. I've thrown things out a little bit, but just to let you know for next week.
So, wait, so was I 2 hours late as well then?
No,
Or,
you were just under an hour late. Well,
Okay.
late.
Okay,
It doesn't
that
matter.
makes
It
sense.
doesn't matter. But so you turned up just before 9, and Natsan, you turned up at about 9:40 UK time, so about an hour and 40 after the 8 p.m. time. But then I totally put that down to the fact that your clocks have changed and our clocks have changed, and nobody knows what's going on. So it's not a problem at all. One of those things.
It is interesting. I didn't think that our clocks would change at different times. It never came across my mind that might happen. I figured it all just probably happened at the same time.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not.
Doesn't the world revolve around America? I mean, come on.
I know, right? It really does. Yeah. Oh yes, talking of America, Sean, I got my US visa on Friday,
Awesome.
so I can now think about moving out.